we will be looking at the F-16CM Fighting Falcon today. Hello, welcome to another unboxing by Hearns Hobbies. I'm Kobey and we will be looking at the F-16CM Fighting Falcon today. And just off the back of Avalon Air Show recently, we got to see one of these fly, which was absolutely fantastic. It was my favorite flying display on the day, which was Saturday. And here I am to take a little dive into the box and see what this kit comes with and why it's special, why Hasegawa have done this, licensed from Lockheed Martin, and have a good deep dive. So, having a look at the box, this is a 2014 release by Hasegawa, a re-release of another kit that they have made earlier. It comes in a lovely 50th anniversary scheme, as we can see here. So the maiden flight of the F-16 was in 1974, as we can see by the tail, and it has just some really nice little details there. We've got the Falcon here with the 50 around it, really nice design there, with the red, white and blue for the American flag. On the tail, obviously F-16 designation. And there we go, we have the photographic style box art on this one, which I personally really like by Hasegawa, especially these modern photos. They come out just a treat on the box arts. So without further ado, let's go and have a look into the box. Don't waste any more time. So this is the CM version of the F-16 Fighting Falcon, which derives from the Block 50 to 52 model Fighting Falcon, which is a newer type of aircraft. It had been redesigned since '74 when it first flew. That means that it had a bunch of upgrades with munitions and radar and sensors that are specific to the Block 50 aircraft. That being a new radar being installed, more thrust with its General Electric engine, the ability to carry AIM-9X and AIM-120 missiles, and then there was like a Sniper XR targeting pod, which I'm not too familiar on that one, but I haven't seen it myself, but that is also a new addition to the Block 50 aircraft, which makes it capable of striking ground targets, I'm pretty sure. So I've taken everything out of the box. Let's begin by having a look at the decals and the instructions. Alright, so here are your decals. You get one scheme in the kit, I believe. Yes, and these are the decals here. So these are printed by Hasegawa in Japan. So they'll be okay. They have a little bit of a thick register, but I don't mind using Hasegawa decals as long as I'm using a really strong setter. Now I like the color of the decals. The white's usually a little bit off, but I don't mind that because I'm usually coming over and weathering it anyway. And the register is really nice. All of the stencils can be read. Lift here. And you have some other stencils around the kit. Okay, let's pull out here for a second. Here we have some information. F-16C Fighting Falcon Tactical Fighter. The IFF, that's another interesting component. So it's like a bird strike IFF on the nose that we'll have a look in at the kit. That is another upgrade to the Block 50 to 52 model aircraft. And you can read in on this if you pause the video if you're interested. Here you go, have a look at the information. So the IFF sensor is a really interesting sensor. It reads information from the radar, I'm pretty sure, and it's able to tell the type of aircraft that it is picking up based on the response that it gets back, what size it is, what engines it's using, to determine what type of aircraft it is, to determine whether it's a friendly or foe, which was really cool. When I heard they announced that, I thought that was a very interesting design because all aircraft make different readings because of the body shape that they have specific to it. Let's go in here. So obviously with the instructions, if it's in darker grey, you're not going to be using it on this kit. It's for another kit, so parts not in use. Anything that's open will be in use. You have a paint breakdown here. So these will be all of the paints you need. H being acrylic, and then the black ones being a lacquer, I believe. And then my favorite, the instructions fold all the way out with Hasegawa. That is very fun. Starting with building the ejection seat, which is pretty standard, and then you'll be building up the figure. And then we are going on to the engine and exhaust manifold, which is pretty cool. Moving on down to, yeah, that's, oh wait, no, it goes, my bad, I've read the instructions wrong already. We are going down the page and then across. So we're going the cockpit assembly here with the pilot, the seat, the tub, the instrument panel, the yoke, joystick, however you'd like to call it. Open the hole here specific to this aircraft on the fuselage. We're going to be dropping that in. Assembly for air brakes in the open position, so you can choose to either have those opened or closed. And then we'll be making the exhaust manifold and the engine wing assembly. That's all coming together over step 5, as well as the rudder. And then we'll be doing the intake, which is notoriously low for the aircraft, sitting not very far off the runway, which means they had to sweep the runways before flight so no debris would be flicked up into the intake. But it's a very, very iconic design to the F-16. You will be needing some nose weight. I don't know if 1 gram will cut it. You're probably going to have to put a little bit more in there. I definitely would, just like chockers with weight. But yes, it will need nose weight, and you can put that in at step number 6. And then 7, you're starting to assemble some of the gear and the catfish fins at the tail of the aircraft. Heads up, moving on to 8, you're putting the landing gear in and the struts and the wheels. Geared bay doors. Moving on to the nose wheel, a sensor pod that will be being used. All that going in. You've got a couple little things to paint up specifically for the aircraft at this step. What else have we got? Optional ladder, so whether you choose to have it opened or closed, that there. Paint the canopy from the interior using the clear parts. So I believe that is for the tint. If you want to tint the canopy in a like bronzy type color, more like how the aircraft had it, painting it from the inside. Canopy open and closed position. D10 is not in use, which is a little hydraulic part that would open the canopy. Moving on, we've got the ladder here being built up. Optional munitions, so you've got your drop tanks, you've got one of these would be the AM9X and the AM120s, I believe. That would be across there. Probably know better than I do. And then there's also a sensor pod, radar pod. There you go. AAQ-33, probably for guided bombs or missiles. And then my favorite part, painting guide. So this comes in a 2-tone scheme. You've got your dark you've got your dark fuselage at the top and then lighter on the bottom, which is very nice. Here we go, AM9 LM. It comes with 300 and 370 gallon fuel tanks, and then also the AM120s. So that is all to be painted up here. And then there you go, there's your Sniper XR. So that's that part there that I was talking about that is specific to the CM model, which is Block 50. And then we've also got the HARM harm targeting system. So that can all be fitted to this aircraft. The tail is obviously in blue, red and white. The instructions are coming in black and white, so you'll have to make note of that with all the color callouts. And yeah, this is in January of 2023 in preparation for the anniversary. They painted this scheme on, and now Hasegawa have released this in 2024, and we have one now as we're making this video. All right, what does it come? All the parts are vacuum sealed, so bear with me. We're going through these one at a time. Alright, so here we have some glass pieces, which are always my favourite to look at on a camera. But look at that, that's really nice. You can see through the glass to my finger really nicely, which means that they're molded really nice and clear. So these are weapon set. The weapons. These may or may not be used in the kit, but these are for your engine nozzle, the exhaust area. Here we have the rudder, tail fin, a couple more sensors that will be painted up on the kit. Zoom out here a little bit. Nicely molded. Definitely my favorite. I really like building Hasegawa. I always say that they come as a great base. So as you can see, the fan blade detail. Some manufacturers probably do it better, but I like this level of detail because it gives me an opportunity to build off of. So here we have some more parts here for relating to the engine, the fan blades and the cover there. We have a munitions sprue, so you're getting all your weapons on this one. And some sensors, molded in a different plastic. So this is a darker grey plastic. So this is probably more specific to this kit, being weapon set E. Take a little quick dive into this sprue here. You'll be getting a very, very nice canopy. It will come with a mold line at the top. Most jet fighters do. We recommend using really, really fine sanding paper to get rid of that one and polishing it up, as these canopies do not have a seam down the middle. But that is a relatively easy task. Just a little bit of patience and you'll have a really nice canopy come up. It'll also be really nicely polished, which is really, really good looking. You get some poly caps, whether they're used or not, I'm not too sure. Hasegawa do like to add those. Aha! A big sprue. A big bag of sprues. Okay, more parts relating to the engine here. There you go there. A bit twisted. Oh. This is obviously one of the original nozzles that you may be using in the kit here, which comes already all molded. One thing we do recommend with that is potentially getting a resin upgrade if you're looking for something really detailed. A lot of opportunity to do wiring with lead or leaving it how it is with the detail. The arrestor hook, even though this is not a naval aircraft, it is a vital component to the aircraft safety once it lands. If it has any issues with brakes or landing gear, it can catch with this hook and come to a stop in time. Have the nose cone, which, as I said before, we recommend chucking some weight in there. Lovely surface detail. Nice shallow engraving lines on that. Here we have two more new sprues here, I believe. This is interesting. So you're getting one molded in a newer plastic and one molded in the older plastic. I believe it's a little bit more flexible. Yeah, this one is a little bit more flexible, so it'll be good for your pilot's head. And it'll have a little bit more detail added to the parts. Here we have some more details here. You have your cockpit tub, you have your pilot, some of the sidewalls and firewalls for the gear bay areas, gear bay doors, intake area, ladder, wheels, gear, Really nice details there. Some more engine details. Another part molded in the newer plastic. Have a new intake. There we go. We have a new intake molded here. Very, very crisp. And some new gear doors. Actually, there you go. We'd probably have a little bit more detail on the insides, I believe. Yeah, they've redone the detail on the inside of the gear doors. And these are, I'm not sure which rudder you'll be using on your aircraft, but that's them there. You have some more munitions here, all of the drop tanks, the wings, some subtle riveting on there, very, very nice. Very thin, you can see the light through, shows you how thin these parts are, good for weight. Sharp as a knife, wouldn't want to walk into that. And there it is. There you have it. That has been the F-16CM Fighting Falcon in the 50th anniversary livery. One thing I will add, you will have to paint the tail red, white and blue for those decals. It doesn't come as a solid decal like some of their kits. But my review out of the box, it is a molding from 1983, I believe, with parts that have been upgraded since. So there's been a lot of toolings since then. They've released several, not dozens, like 24 iterations of this kit since then, and there are a lot of new parts, and the whole thing has probably been redesigned since that time. But the F-16 kit has been around by Hasegawa since '83. I believe that this kit really stands up to the details of this time at the moment, and it still offers a really good base for you to build up of, and it's got really nice plastic and a really great option. So this has been the F-16CM. Thank you for watching, and we hope you have a wonderful day. We'll see you in store sometime soon. Cheers, guys.